Welcome to the Marvel Alliance podcast, where we cover anything and everything to do with the Marvel Universe. In the comics, TV, and movies, we will go from Earth 616 to the Mojoverse to the TVA in order to bring the Marvel Universe right to you. I'm the man without fear, Chris.
I'm your friendly neighborhood Brett.
Alliance Assemble, Volume 177. And it's not 276. If you caught some of the last week's episodes, Marvel Alliance gained 100 episodes.
I didn't even catch that. You had to spell it out for me.
I just noticed it a couple days after the fact, but that is corrected. Snell got a little overzealous with how ahead we are in the episode count, but
I actually don't. I'd have to look at I don't ever look at the episode counts. I'm gonna be honest. So DC Alliance started. I don't know. I have to look.
No, DC Alliance is definitely ahead of us. They did a lot of the half episodes with the just Superman and Lois breakdowns.
Scoundrels.
Yes, but one day, we'll allow it. But how's your week been, Brent?
It's good. It's good. Got kind of a weird week for me, but work-wise, because I had to take some unexpected time off, but all's good. And obviously one more day tomorrow, and then kids come back next week. In my district, my kids go back to school next week. I'm like, it's that time of year, man. It's starting. Whoa, David in the chat. Good evening. David has a friend visiting from out of town. I'm a little surprised to see him pop in.
All right.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'll have to talk to you offline about my previous weekend. It was an unexpected, not in a good way. Things are fixed on the car, but didn't get into an accident. But some unexpected things came up with the car.
Yeah, that's never fun with your car.
Yeah. I'll explain more offline another time because we are under a time crunch tonight. But yeah, all good. First full week at school. We're hitting the stride, so we're hanging in there. Everything's going good though. But
good.
But yeah, we are under a time crunch tonight because Brent has movie tickets tonight.
I'm trying to fit in Blue Beetle tonight. I'm trying to make it work so I can do the responsible thing and see it before I take my son to see it. Just so I can know where the parts are that he may find scary. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But that's the plan anyway. Plus, I want to see the movie. I like the trailers. I want to see it. So
yep, I am seeing it tomorrow evening, so I will be very excited for that. But as we say on the show, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
So let us get the show plugs out of the way. We've got some very juicy and interesting rumors to kind of break down and see what we believe and not believe with what's coming out. But we are part of the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network with 8 shows covering the wide range of geek and nerdom. To see the full schedule, check out the show notes below and subscribe to the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network on Twitter at GUA Pod Network so you know when all the shows drop. We also have a Patreon, so if we want to throw a couple of shekels our way, we've got 2 tiers, our dollar tiers, our tip jar to say, hey, you think we're doing a good job? And then we've got our $5 tier with ad-free episodes, early access episodes, and Patreon-exclusive shows, including our show, We Can Watch This All Day, the Marvel Alliance MCU Rewatch. We've got 19 episodes up there. Doctor Strange is our most recent episode. Brent and I are getting ready to record next Monday night, Thor Ragnarok. So that is up on the weekend watch for me.
Yes, I have done my homework. That is my wife's favorite Marvel movie, so it's not exactly a hard one to get her to turn on. Oh, we're watching Thor Ragnarok? Finally. That's basically what I got.
Yeah, I haven't told Erin yet that's what we're watching this weekend, but she'll be very excited about that because she definitely adores that movie. But you got the DC Alliance guys with their DC Through the Years rewatches. You got Joe's Multiverse Minutes. We got a lot of back content out there, so I want to thank our patrons. We can't do this without your support. And if you are not a member of our Patreon, go to www.patreon.com/GUA Network and to become part of our network Patreon. And but if you can't join us on Patreon, we totally understand. But if you can take 30 to 90 seconds and rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, or Amazon Music, wherever you get in your podcast, we greatly appreciate it. Give us that 5-star review. And last but certainly not least, we want to thank our official sponsor, OrganicPriceBooks.com, for omnibus hardcover collected edition needs. J and the P and the crew at OPB have got it going on with excellent customer service, immaculate packaging, ships around the world. Love all these lovely omnis coming back into print. Some of them have been pushed all the way back into 2024, but again, Marvel's putting out some great omnis with that. So use that code MARVELGUA at checkout to get $2 off every single order. Use it a limited amount of times, and we want to thank them for being our official sponsor. All right, just a couple of network stuff to get out of the way. We want to give a big plug to DC Alliance. They are going to go live Friday night. If you're listening to this, they are going
Yes.
live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for their Blue Beetle review. Reviews are being very strong about this, so hopefully that'll get a good positive word of mouth to bump that box office up. We want them to. We want the movie to do really well at that point. I'm excited to see it. I know you're excited to see it.
I am. I am.
So catch the live show at 8 p.m. and I will be the one who will be catching it Saturday morning when the audio drops. So good luck to all those guys. Hopefully, it'll be. I'm very much looking forward to the review. And lastly, the return of the GUA crossover for August is scheduled. It'll be next Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tier 2 patrons, you will get the link to join the discussion after about 5 minutes, and hopefully we'll see a couple of y'all patrons there. Can't wait for that. I think I will be a part of it. You might be missing this one, Brent, maybe.
I got to find out. It's on my calendar though. Just double checking. It's 25th, right? Just want to
Yes,
make that
Friday.
clear on that.
Mhm.
And I'm hoping to be there, but I'm unwilling to commit at this time.
Gotcha. So game time decision for Brent.
Pretty much.
All right. All right, so let us get into the news. So both of these, interesting enough, are both kind of our main kind of discussion pieces tonight are both coming from the Cosmic Circus. Cosmic Circus has been around for a couple of years. They have gotten some pretty interesting scoops lately. So, if we were to put them on a tier list at that point, I'd put them at a C+ to B- scooper at this point.
That feels about right. I don't automatically ignore them, but I don't usually. Let's just put it this way: everything that we say tonight from them, I have my grain of salt with me. It's right over there, and I just, But it's worth talking about, and if nothing else, there's some fun ideas.
There definitely are some fun ideas. So with both stories, they are at least very responsible when it comes to this, because in both their stories, they do put. Let's start by addressing the elephant in the room. In the sense of their sources told them this information before the strikes. And they said this could change. This could, depending on how the strikes work out, how long the strikes go, this can be completely changed. But as of the time they were told this before the strikes, this is the information they're putting out there. So the question they want to say was starting with, what's next for Scarlet Witch? Is she coming back? When is she coming back? So the big elephant in the room, they say, is did she survive? So we'll say this off. And if you want to know nothing about spoilers for basically most of this episode, we'll maybe see you next week, because that's what this whole show is about.
Yeah, that's fair.
So sorry, but we'll put that warning before we say this. So anyways, did Wanda survive the events of Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness? They say the simple answer is yes. Wanda is still alive in the 616 universe. Next question is, where is she? Their sources have informed them that Wanda is currently in a dormant state at the end of the Witch's Road. The Witch's Road is an alternate dimension within the borders of the known universe, similar to that of the Mirror Dimension or the Dark Dimension. According to their source, fans can expect this particular plane of existence to be first introduced in the upcoming Agatha Coven of Chaos series, followed by the potential special based on the location, which would premiere following the conclusion of Coven of Chaos. This Witch's Road special, we've been told, would be similar to Werewolf by Night special presentation in terms of tone and loose connectivity to the main MCU storyline. However, just because the Witch's Road will be introduced in these upcoming projects now doesn't mean Wanda will appear in either one. Sources have stated that the Scarlet Witch will not physically appear in the previous stated projects. It'll mainly be an origin story of the mythical location, featuring new cast of witches, and according to sources, will predate most of the events of the MCU. Fans can expect these projects regarding Wanda would be in Coven of Chaos, with the confirmation that she is still alive via traces of her chaos magic still being out there. So, doesn't sound like we will be getting seeing Wanda in either of these projects, but definitely strong hints of her continued existence.
I like the ideas. The thing I kind of bat an eye at the most is the thought of them doing a special presentation on the Witch's Road without Wanda. It right now it's not really passing the smell test, but I love the idea of them using the Witch's Road. So I hope there's at least some element of truth to this. I would love to be wrong on this one. There was a 5-6 years ago, maybe more. I'm not sure exactly. There was a James Robinson Scarlet Witch run
Yes,
that covered the Witch's
excellent
Road.
run.
I really, really enjoyed that. It's on Marvel Unlimited, highly recommended. So you should definitely check that out. I don't remember the exact year. Within the last 5 to 10 years, in that
You're
ballpark
the
somewhere.
one who recommended me reading it last year, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it.
I liked it a lot. Yeah, it was definitely definitely a good read. I mean, I saw a TikTok the other day that was basically someone sourcing giant freaking robot saying
Oh
that Wanda
no!
that basically Scarlet Witch was done and they weren't bringing her back because Marvel is through with Elizabeth Olsen. And I'm like, okay, sure, right, yeah. I no, that I give way more credence to these stories tonight.
Sure, Jan.
Sure, Jan. Yeah, we will absolutely see her again.
Yes. The next thing they covered was WandaVision spinoffs. So there's also the matter of the spinoffs, they say, starting with Vision Quest, featuring Paul Bettany's return as Vision. Sources have informed them that the Vision Quest storyline would feature a loose adaptation of Tom King's The Vision comic run, which we have covered on this show. Outstanding run. Highly recommend it. With appearances from Vision's synthesoid family, Virginia, Viv, and Vin. This has been rumored for some time as well. Now in the comics, Virginia, Vision's new synthesoid wife, was modeled using the brainwaves of Wanda. However, it remains to be seen whether or not this will be part of her character. There's also a matter of Monica Rambeau returning in the upcoming Marvels film, slated to premiere in late November. While we won't see Wanda return in this particular project, expect there to be a few mentions here and there. There's also a rumored Billy Maximoff project in development, but that has yet to be verified by sources. And of course, there is the Scarlet Witch solo project that's been rumored following the premiere of WandaVision, with many fans eager for any sort of idea at that point. Might be the loose adaptation of, like you said, the 2016 Scarlet Witch comic book run, with the certain elements of Children Crusades being thrown into the mix.
Yes, please.
I mean, this is going to be very interesting just because, remember, we later in the show, we'll talk about like the rumors of Doctor Strange 3 and the supposed plot about that. Where does this fit in?
That's the thing. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't want it. I do want
a
Scarlet Witch solo project, but it can't. This has to fit in before Kang Dynasty.
I realize why this doesn't work practically, but I want them to just push back Secret Wars like 3 more years, 4 more years. Just push it back there so you have some room. No, you can't do it. You can't do that realistically because there's actors and stuff you want involved in it, and people aren't getting any younger. And some of these people have been around, like presumably Hugh Jackman for 20 years, and you can't keep pushing it back at some point. But they can't keep making the breakneck pace they're going while also. Just it doesn't work. It's too much. But these are such cool ideas. They're such fun ideas, and I'd hate to be like I was talking with DC Outlaw the other day about Captain America, and it's like we haven't seen Sam Wilson's Captain America in like 18 projects or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's only been a couple years, but it's a really long time when you look at this just sheer volume of content that is out. It's a problem they have got to figure out, and not using. Yes, they did go back to the Scarlet Witch well, and they're we're getting with Multiverse of Madness. We're getting Monica up in the Marvels here in a couple months, but they got to bring back Elizabeth Olsen. They just have to. She got too big not to do that.
There's nothing about these rumors that make me question whether she's coming back or not. It's a foregone conclusion in my mind. It's just a question of when and what time. But again, as we said before, the strikes and everything like that, it's going to kind of push things off if Bob Iger sticks to his plan of scaling back content at this point. I think a Scarlet Witch project is worth more to Marvel than, I hate to say it, a Billy Maximoff project.
Absolutely.
So, if we're going to cut something at that point, yeah, Scarlet Witch, Marvel knows the value of it. And I guarantee you, we're going to see Scarlet Witch again, at the very least, probably in What If Season 2.
Well, we'll talk about what I think should happen with Billy Maximoff later, or what maybe I think should have happened with him. But Scarlet Witch, WandaVision was like a massive phenomenon. There were all kinds of reasons why, but the way it popped off, they got to go back to that. And I know several people have problems with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, but you got to remember it was hugely successful. And so people liked her in that movie as well. I mean, that movie
Mm-hmm.
made just shy of $1 billion. It was like 950 or something like that. So they got to get her back out there. They got to get
Yeah,
her back out there.
I agree. But again, the thing I can agree with Bob Iger is I don't want the quantity of content. I want the quality of the content.
Right. Right.
So, the last thing they went into, and again, this would be very big grain of salt in the sense of the possibility of Wanda coming back, but not necessarily our Wanda. So, big spoilers possibly coming ahead for Deadpool 3 and future of Wanda going into that. So then, of course, there's, as they say, that what about 838? This information that they're going ready to go into is very fascinating, and this is all information provided to them before it strikes. So they're very cautious about how much they're even believing it, but they want to put it out there. So according to the sources, there is a particular interest from Marvel to explore 838 further. That was depicted in Multiverse of Madness. And there's been a lot of rumors saying that the Deadpool 3 movie will be exploring that as well. So the idea of 838 appearing in Deadpool and Wolverine film would play to display in the events of Doctor Strange and Multiverse Madness how that affected with the death of the Illuminati. That in turn left a massive power vacuum. So 838 would be now a dystopian future led by a handful of individuals related to deceased members of the Illuminati. They would deem Doctor Strange and Wanda did as an act of war against 838 and would retaliate. Now, how would Wanda 838 fit in, they say? According to their source, one of the individuals who takes up the power of becoming the leader of the Illuminati would be Sir Ian McKellen's Magneto from Earth 838. It would be established that he has a father-daughter relationship with Wanda. However, it is yet to be confirmed whether he is a biological father or will take her as his own following what happened at 838. So that would be kind of very interesting. We have heard Ian McKellen's possible return, whether it be in Secret Wars or in possibility in Deadpool 3. That would be a fascinating pull.
I love the idea. I love the idea. 838. I mean, that Earth got demolished by Doctor Strange and by Wanda. You know, like basically the events of that movie that they just crushed their whole protectorate. I think that sounds like a lot of fun, and I agree with the criticisms that we need to get invested in some other universes before Secret Wars happens. We need to have a more appreciation, and seeing more of what their world is going through could help lead to that. You know, sure, it already got destroyed, figuratively speaking, but let's see where they're at now. Pick up the pieces. I love the idea. Is it too much for the Deadpool movie, like to go into as in depth as I might enjoy? Probably, but I'll take what I can get.
Well, especially, we look at the idea of who the next Illuminati will be, the fact that, okay, yeah, they let's be honest, like they were heroes in the sense of who they were, Mr. Fantastic, Black Bolt, Captain Marvel, Professor X, they have,
Yep.
Captain Carter. Outside of Captain Carter, the rest of those 4 or 5 definitely have had villainous turns in their stories at that point. Maybe not Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, but a good chunk have had some kind of villainous, turns in the comics in one way, shape, or form. But now, if you get rid of all those heroes and it's gone completely crazy, and you have basically Magneto rising to the power, it would be pretty interesting to see a more villainous Illuminati that still have the same ideals of we've got to prevent these incursions and fix what Strange and Wanda had caused on them. That would be really cool to see.
And being a different Earth, they could use this as an opportunity to begin the retcon process to have Magneto be her biological father.
Yeah. Just drop those hints again and keep those mutants coming, right?
Absolutely. Keep those mutants coming. That should be our new tagline. Absolutely.
I don't know. That's questionable, but it'll be interesting.
I like it.
Okay, Brent's gonna make it a thing. He's gonna create a new hashtag. Hashtag keep those mutants coming.
That's right.
All right. Okay, well, let us head into our next story. But before that, let's take our first ad break for the evening because the next 2 stories will be a little bit interesting as they tie into each other. So, We don't get to control these ads. We don't get to control how many times they repeat, and they can be a bit loud. So give it that 3 count before they come on. 3, 2, 1. We'll be right back. And we are back. All right, next story, Doctor Strange 3. So a lot of times we've talked about this. This might be our possible final movie before the Kang Dynasty, or it's going to be very, very close to what Kang Dynasty is going to be. So again, same thing, information told to them prior to the strikes. They said, according to their sources, Marvel Studios wants to adapt elements from the Time Runs Out event for Doctor Strange and for Doctor Strange 3. The film would pick up right where we left off in Multiverse of Madness, where Clea traveled from another dimension to seek out Doctor Strange and for his aid in fixing the incursion that occurred. From what they've been told, Strange has been sought out by a multiversal organization called the Black Priests. And according to their sources, Clea is a member of this organization, and the Black Priest HQ will be in the nothing space of the destroyed universes, which exists within the space of 2 dead universes caused by an incursion. It'll be revealed in the film that the multiverse is dying. The cause of the decay is a result of the incursions happening all over the multiverse, the most recent one being caused by Doctor Strange. The film will also elaborate on a point made in the previous movie regarding Doctor Strange and the threat to the multiverse. It was made clear in the previous film that through Christine Palmer's 838 research that Doctor Stephen Strange is one of the most dangerous threats to the multiverse. However, they have yet to specify how dangerous he is outside of 838. The upcoming sequel will explain how Stephen is a threat to the multiverse by establishing him as a common denominator when it comes to incursions, aside from being the main danger of the Council of Kangs, who are also causing this, but he's the precipitating factor. While it will be confirmed the main reason for the decay of the multiverse is due to the incursions caused by the Council of Kangs, it is unknown at this time if the film will feature a Kang variant or if the film will flat out confirm what the source of the decay is. However, the sources have told us that the film will serve as a direct preamble to the upcoming Kang Dynasty Avengers film. So, Time Runs Out was in the comics what was leading up to Secret Wars, Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars. This is kind of his big kind of finale of it at that point. And the Black Priests are from the comics. It was rather interesting in the comics, if I remember correctly. Like they could form, like, each one of them had a word, and they could form whatever their sentence is. They could create something. But if one of them died and was taken out, they could no longer use that word. And so they would have to get creative in how they created these other spells. So that would be kind of an interesting thing if they tried to depict that on screen.
It would be interesting. I could see that being really cool. I could also see that being a little hard to follow. But overall, this rumor, I mean, story checks out, right? We know we're going to Secret Wars. This was the last big comic event before Secret Wars. We know they've drawn from Jonathan Hickman in the past. They're seemingly drawing from him again. And a while back now at this point, there were all kinds of rumors that they were fast tracking a Doctor Strange 3, trying to get it in before Secret War. Like, all of this does check out. Like, this one feels pretty credible to me.
Yeah, and it would be very, it's one of those, criticize it all you want. The fact of saying, oh, you have to watch Captain Marvel in order to understand, like, lead up to Endgame at that point. It ended up paying off as much as we thought it was going to, but still, I'm not poo-pooing the movie. I'm just saying, like, this sounds like a true lead up. Like, you need to see this before you see Kang.
It does, and I'm sure they'll make that known in the PR. But that is, for all the people that have complained about that has also always been a strength. Those connections and the things building upon each other of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So. And that's been something that some people have been kind of complaining. I think they're not giving credit where it's due for some of the connections we have had in Phase 4 and 5. But this would certainly bring a lot of that back to the forefront of what those people are missing.
And especially, Strange is being a character that he is saying that, he's the most dangerous man in the multiverse at that point. There are not many versions of Strange that have been positive. Like, we've seen in What If, we've seen in 838, he's like, we haven't had a Reed Richards, but we always talk about Reed Richards always has kind of an evil side to him. And when you look at the Council of Reeds, the Reed of 616 is probably the more hero version than all the other Reeds were.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The Maker, the version of the Reed that
Yeah.
becomes the Maker. I really do enjoy that twist on the character.
I will tell you right now, in a couple of months, when you get to start reading Ultimate Invasion, yeah,
Hmm.
that's going to be interesting.
It's fun.
Yep,
I'm looking forward to it. I'm the Maker popped up in Venom and Donny Cates Venom run, and I'm like,
yep, he
I'm
did.
here for it. And I haven't seen him since, so I am. I know he's coming back. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so no more spoilers at that point.
Thank you.
All right, so our last story, we're going to call this Do We Believe It or Not? From these quick hits of the Marvel rumor mill that are from Scoopers. So we've got two Scoopers we're looking at right now, Daniel RPK and Can We Get Toast, kind of breaking down some somewhat related rumors. So from Daniel RPK, said prior to the SAG after strike, Hugh Jackman and Kevin Feige reportedly had conversations about Wolverine having a big, and you use these words, big role in Avengers Secret Wars. All right, so we know he's in Deadpool 3. We know Deadpool 3 is going to be a multiversal kind of road trip at that point. We don't know what version of Wolverine we're getting. I think it's a version of Wolverine that we probably haven't seen yet necessarily, because they've been very emphasizing that Logan has still happened. I don't think this is this me personally, I don't think this is a Wolverine we have personally met yet.
We also know that in the past, Hugh Jackman has talked about wanting to do stuff with the Avengers.
Hmm.
Now, I'm going way back to like the 2012 to 2015 timeframes, but he has talked about wanting to cross over with the Avengers. We don't know what he's going to get to do with that in Deadpool 3. This would be his opportunity to play with the Marvel Studios proper characters. You said, do we believe it or not? Yeah, I'm going to say, oh, it's almost like fact or fiction, I guess. But yes,
Yeah,
I do believe this.
true.
I think there's some real merit to this one.
No, I agree with you on this. And if we're saying, like, if the other rumors we've been talking about for a while now from Kevin Feige saying he wants to say a proper goodbye to all the Fox, everything, like as much as he can, calling all in the favors at this point. Ben Affleck, the crew, the cast from Fantastic Four, the X-Men movies, the proper. Now, unfortunately, rumors are not supporting the first class ones, but the original X-Men cast at that point. Get as many of them together, not for just glorified cameos necessarily, but something to give them a proper send off before Secret Wars resets the entire MCU.
It's showing them respect. It's showing
Yeah.
them a lot more respect than many fans, myself included, often
Hmm.
have in the past. So I can certainly appreciate that. I've always enjoyed it when DC has done those kind of things. They've had those send offs, like John Wesley Shipp playing Jake Eric, for example, on the
Yep.
Flash TV show. I love it when they do that kind of stuff. So I'm absolutely here for Marvel to do some of that with
Gotcha.
the X-Men.
All right. So there's another one from Daniel RPK, but we're going to go to Can We Get Toast, who has another one tied to this. Scooper to Can We Get Toast says, before the strikes, Kevin Feige also reached out to Andrew Garfield about having his Spider-Man appear in Secret Wars. That was later confirmed by Alex P. from My Cosmic Circus, saying, while this is true, I hope that we at least get more of an update on him and Toby in another project before they come back for Secret Wars. So Andrew Garfield, this conversation didn't say big role, but said a return in Secret Wars at the very least.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like after the massive success of Spider-Man No Way Home, that they'd be absolutely crazy to do a big, huge multiversal crossover and
Mhm.
not at least try to get those guys back, both of them, both McGuire and Garfield back for at least one or a cameo of nothing else. And yes, I don't get me wrong though, I want to see him before that. I absolutely want to see. I'm greedy. I'm a Spider-Man fan. I'm greedy. I can never get enough Spider-Man movies. I would love another Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie between now and then. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I more, Andrew Garfield got so much like clamoring for, oh, I want to see more of him. Like I said it during our review that Andrew Garfield being in No Way Home, I really enjoyed his portrayal in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but I use the analogy of this is what happens when the quarterback has a good coach. He had even
That's
better
great.
work
Yes.
to go with, and then not knocking the writers or anything like that. It was good, but like so much more we gathered from the two films we got, that the respect and everything, his the idea of how much the death of Gwen still affected him. Like, Andrew Garfield is just so much of a bigger actor and has grown as an actor. We can even say like the time that he's grown as an actor really brought even more gravitas to that part. Yeah, we want to see at least one more time Andrew, Toby, and Tom on screen together one more time.
Yeah, it's Andrew Garfield.
And he needs to fight an alien. He needs
an alien. That's right. The Amazing Spider-Man movies, I love the first one. The second one, I was much more down on. I enjoy it. I like the movie. Am I going to tell you it's like my favorite? Absolutely not. There are real problems I have with that movie. There's also real that would be Morbius. There's also real bright spots that I think are in that movie, and the problems I do have with it, none of them are at Andrew Garfield's feet, and he is a fantastic actor. I might argue that while Tom Holland is still my overall favorite Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield I think is probably the best actor among the three live-action Spider-Mans in the movies we've had to date. Frankly, I'm greedy. Give me some more Garfield. Give me a Toby movie also. Do it all. If they want, like, bring it all back. I'd much rather they did that than do this Craven nonsense that we're getting. But if nothing else, I would love to see them again. If we don't, I'm glad. If it doesn't work out for whatever reason, I'm glad that No Way Home was this amazing, beautiful send-off for these characters to let us revisit an old friend with Maguire and let the Andrew Garfield version at least get a little bit of closure that he never got from his original run. But again, I'm greedy, so I absolutely want more.
Yep, so we got another Believe It or Not. And so, all right, last one. This is back to Daniel RPK. And here we go again. Fantastic Four. Adam Driver will be meeting with Marvel Studios once the SAG-AFTRA and WAJ strikes are over. They'll let him read Josh Friedman's new script for the film and offer him the role of Reed Richards once again. Man, this rumor will not die. Absolutely, my goodness. Just when you think the whole Adam Driver thing is over, they pull you back in. They really. If this is true, they really, really want him as Reed Richards.
Let me be clear. I liked Adam Driver in the Star Wars movies. That's the only movies I know him from. I haven't seen him in anything else. But at this point, if he is formally announced as taking the part, I'm not going to be cheering because he got the part. I'm going to be cheering because they finally just announced who it is. Yes. I'm so over these rumors at this point. I just want to know who it is. I'm ready to support him. Don't get me wrong. I will be genuinely happy if it's Adam Driver. But if it's not, great, fine. Just give me the name so I can either say, oh, I like him, or give me the opportunity to go check something out from whoever's playing him so I can get to know our new Reed Richards. Yes, let's move on.
Yes. So I at this point, I'm not ready to believe it at all, just because it's getting to the point of it's gotten to the level of when people want to debate whether Superman should wear trunks or not. I don't care anymore. I just don't care.
I care, but I don't need the debate. Just show me a costume and let's go.
Yes, exactly. All right, so that is all the news we got for this week. Fun rumors to discuss at that point. Again, I didn't want to ignore some of these little quick hits. So that's why I just created a little mini segment for us. So
there we go.
All right, so let us head into listener feedback and. Omari Daniels saying they'll offer Miles Teller the role again.
Is he gonna rock that stash that he had in Top Gun?
I'll tell you what, I did enjoy Miles Teller when he was in the miniseries The Offer on Paramount Plus. That was an outstanding miniseries.
I've heard that was good. I've heard, but I didn't see it. But he was excellent in Top Gun Maverick. So
he was. All right, so let's get into the listener feedback while I pull up Fact or Fictions from last week.
All right, DC Outlaw. With the excitement surrounding Loki Season 2 already seemingly higher than some other recent shows, do you think more of the shows could continue on and get second seasons and put the new upcoming shows on pause? Also, which other shows getting a Season 2 announcement would make you the most excited? And which supporting cast would you like to see more of? I want more Hawkeye and Miss Marvel, personally. I just want to say that the news that Loki Season 2 is seemingly higher the hype is seemingly higher, it absolutely is quantifiably higher. Like, the trailer views are higher than any of the other Disney Plus shows, including Loki Season 1. Mm-hmm. Yes, but which shows do you think would make for a good Season 2?
Obviously we'd have to retitle it, but I could always use another Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Well, Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Captain America and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I will never turn that down. You know how much I like the Captain America cast. But I love the ideas of Hawkeye and Ms. Marvel. Realistically, I don't even know if Jeremy Renner would have that in him anymore. But I'd be perfectly happy for a Kate Bishop Hawkeye show as well. Don't get me wrong; I'd love to see
I
Jeremy Renner
I,
back.
I want Kate Bishop and Yelena show.
Kate Bishop and Yelena, 100% could not possibly agree with that anymore at all. I do think Miss Marvel is a show that absolutely lends itself to another season as well. Honestly, like I really maybe other than Secret Invasion, and I'd have to get on board. Like I'd need some real work to get on board with that. I can't really think of any of them that I'd be like upset about getting another season, but yeah, like Ms. Marvel absolutely lends itself to it more. Falcon and Winter Soldier or Captain America and Winter Soldier, yes, I'll vote for both of those.
Yeah, I'm with you on Miss Marvel. Like I said, I'm definitely a cheerleader for that show. I understand. I'm not saying that it didn't have its problems and things. I was like, I probably wouldn't have done that. But I think there's so much genuine heart for that. I really did like Hawkeye, but I'm more of the let Jeremy Renner go off and let Kate Bishop officially take over the mantle at that point.
Sure, let the man heal too at
Yes.
this point.
Poor guy.
Still a DC Outlaw. If you were in charge of pitching a movie culminating Phase 4 like an Avengers movie, but it doesn't have to be the Avengers, using Phase 4 characters and plots, what's the movie? Who's the villain?
You have an actual one. I went funny on this one, so.
I do. I'm going Young Avengers with this. Obviously, there'd have to be some tweaks. You can't do it exactly like the comics, but when has that ever been a problem before? I'm going Young Avengers. So many of them were introduced. I would include Miss Marvel in this. Absolutely include Miss Marvel in this. I would include Billy and Tommy. Yes, they're younger, but that's okay. I would find a way to have included them as well. And I would probably center the movie around, here's my Captain America love again, of the Patriot getting his power, Eli getting his powers, or pretending to get his powers if you've read the book.
True.
And going from there on and basically bringing the team together. So ultimately, that's who I would want. Who do I want the villain to be? Honestly, I would stick with one of the villains of one of the original Young Avengers arcs, and I'd have it be King. Bring in now. There's a twist on this King.
There is,
but bring in King and it fits with what their long-term plans are.
Yeah, that was my first kind of, because that was around the time, when Young Avengers, Avengers Disassemble and things like that. That's when I was getting back into comics. So it had been a long time since I've seen Kang the Conqueror. So that was my reintroduction to Kang, was through
and that's
Avengers.
if you haven't read Young Avengers, you should read it and then look up the Avengers Children's Crusade. It's basically a sequel.
Yep.
They're so good. They absolutely should. I really hope they do adapt elements of these stories.
Yeah, it would be great. So it has been a very busy week. And DTLO, when I saw your question, I texted Brent and said, I don't have enough of the brain power to really give this the proper due at that point, because I want to do right by it. And then when you said, "Oh, you've got a great idea," I said, "All right, I'm gonna take the cheap way out." Unfortunately, just because my creativity is at a low right now, I went to ChatGPT and took an idea from what our brethren at the Geekverse does occasionally, and they ChatGPT decide. So I plugged in your question to ChatGPT, and this is what it came up with. The movie will be entitled Avengers Nexus Convergence. After the events of Phase 4, the world is still reeling from the aftermath of the multiversal chaos caused by the variants, Nexus events, and the unveiling of the existence of the multiverse. The Avengers, now led by, wait for it, a reformed Loki, realize that the multiverse's stability is under threat from the powerful cosmic entity known as the Conflux, an embodiment of the multiverse's order. The Conflux believes that the existence of the infinite realities is a threat to the very fabric of reality itself and seeks to purge the multiverse of variants. That is the synopsis. They have since then...
I'm in.
Go ahead.
I'm in. It sounds fun. It sounds convoluted, sure, but it sounds fun.
They broke it down to 6 acts.
Nice.
Yeah. So we got a little time. I think I can go this quick, Brent.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Act 1, Assembling the Multiversal Avengers. The movie begins with the Avengers scattered across the different realities, grappling with the consequences of their Phase 4 adventures. Loki, who has embraced his role as a guardian of the multiverse, embarks on a journey to recruit a diverse team of Avengers from across the dimensions. This team includes Doctor Strange, Wanda Maximoff, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man, Miles Morales Spider-Man, Captain Carter, and a reformed Sylvie. They discover that each member has encountered their reality's version of the Conflux and narrowly escaped its judgment. What do you think about that Avengers crew?
I mean, Sylvie threw me. I was not expecting that one, but all right, I dig it.
All right, Act 2, the multiversal threat unveiled. As the team comes together, they piece together the Conflux's plan to create a Nexus event so catastrophic that it will collapse all the realities into one, erasing the variants and restoring the order it seeks. To do this, the Conflux manipulates several powerful villains from different dimensions, including alternate reality Kang variant, who just desires ultimate control. The Avengers must confront these villains across the multiverse, leading to an epic battle in each distinct reality. Leads us to Act 3, Battles Across Reality. The Avengers engage in the intense battles against the manipulated villains, each confrontation showcasing the strength of the unique powers of the team members. These battles also give the characters moments of self-discovery and growth, solidifying their commitment to protecting the multiverse. The team learns the Conflux's plan involves merging the distinct realities by manipulating the convergence points, creating the Nexus event so powerful that it'll just obliterate the multiverse.
So it's Secret Wars at this
Yes.
point. It's Secret Wars.
Yeah, let's see. Confronting the Conflux as the Avengers finally locate the Conflux domain, the surreal plane existing outside of the time and space, and confront its immense power. The Conflux unveils its motivation, a deep-seated fear of the chaos that the multiverse represents, drawing parallels to its own existence as a cosmic entity embodies order. The Avengers argue that diversity and individuality are strengths, not weaknesses, and the erasing of variants would only lead to stagnation. Act 5, the Nexus Showdown. A climactic battle unfolds. The Avengers face the Conflux and its manipulated allies in the epic struggle. The team employs innovative tactics, combining their powers and using the knowledge of the multiverse dynamics to outwit the Conflux and its allies. Loki's cunning, Doctor Strange's mastery of magic, Wanda's reality manipulation, Shang-Chi's martial prowess, Spider-Man's agility, Captain Carter's leadership, and Sylvie's enchantment play a crucial role. Imagine that, Brent. They play a crucial role.
Seems about right.
Yep. Act 6, restoring the balance. In a final confrontation, Loki and Sylvie manage to connect with the conflicts on a personal level, sharing their experiences as variants and helping the entity understand the value of individuality and the potential for cooperation among the realities. Touched by their words, the conflicts chooses to embrace new perspective. And I'm sorry, no, no, absolutely not. No,
that part loses a little bit there.
A little. That just lost. I started losing me when they were trying to convince him, saying you can. It's a good thing.
It's still overall, it's ChatGPT. You get what you get, but I think it's still fun. I think it's fun, and that's ultimately what matters.
All right, epilogue: a multiversal future. With the Conflux's change of heart, it uses its power to stabilize the multiverse to prevent future Nexus event. The Avengers return to their respective realities, each carrying lessons they learned and newfound camaraderie. The multiverse continues to thrive, with the Avengers now acting as the guardians who watch over its well-being. As they part ways, Loki reflects on the journey, acknowledging that the very existence of the multiverse is a testament to the beauty of endless possibilities. Post-credit scene setting up Phase 5. In a cryptic scene, a shadowy figure is always a shadowy figure, Brent.
Every time.
It is seen observing the Avengers' actions through a portal, intrigued by their success in altering the Conflux's perspective. As the figure steps into light, it is revealed to be an reality-bending mutant, hinting that the X-Men's introduction and the challenges that lie ahead in Phase 5.
You think you're the only one parroting of Iron Man 1. All right. You answered the question. I'm giving full marks on that.
I answered the question, does not with my own idea.
Hey, I don't know. I just said if you were in charge, what would you do? This is what you would do, I think.
No, this is not what I would do. This is what ChatGPT would do.
Well, you asked ChatGPT, so
I did.
I respect it. All right, couple more questions. World's biggest geek in the chat. In the Infinity Saga, which of the villains would you want to bring back from Ironmonger all the way to Thanos? Basically, are there any Infinity Saga villains you'd like to see come back for another round? I will tell you, Ultron is the first one that comes to mind for me.
Ultron, I would agree with.
So easy to bring him back, So it's such an easy way to do it. Wouldn't be hard at all, and such a great character.
Yeah, I would have to agree with Ultron.
I guess I'll give an honorable mention to the Vulture, but no, Morbius doesn't count.
Yeah, no Morbin time.
All right, Omari Daniels. After their many appearances in the Netflix shows, where would you like to see the Hand show up in the MCU?
Shang-Chi.
We're so close. We might as well just merge your ideas, because I would like to see the Hand take on the 10 Rings.
Yeah.
the
I
10
mean,
rings.
you can
So
call it low-hanging fruit, but it
yeah,
still would be cool.
it would be awesome. But I thought of Shang-Chi, and I can think of several others, but I'm like, you know what? Xiaoling and the 10 Rings, allegedly they're doing something there. When's it going to come out? I don't know, 2032 at this point. But something with them and the hand, I think, would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would agree. That would be a lot of fun. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for sending in the questions. That was a lot of fun to do. So let us get into fact or fiction. All right. Okay, here we go. Number one, with Mr. Sinister confirmed to be returning in X-Men 97, we will see him create the clone of Jean Grey Madeline Pryor. 67% said fact, 33% said fiction. Number two, it will be revealed at the end of Loki Season 2 that there is not just one sacred timeline, but multiple sacred timelines. 69% said fact, 31% said fiction. And number three, Mephisto will be seen in a project before Agatha Coven of Chaos. 55% said fact, 45% said fiction. 3 for 3 this week with facts.
Well, they were good ones, I think. I mean, especially that Madeline Pryor. You gotta appreciate that. All right. First up this week for me. This is one that I've talked. I don't remember if it was on the show or not, but I talked about with you anyway. The first trailer for Echo will show Kingpin and Matt Murdock or Daredevil.
So one more time.
The first trailer for Echo will show Kingpin and Matt Murdock / Daredevil. As in, they will not be hiding their involvement.
I would say I'd say at least Kingpin.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm saying both, so
Yeah.
I'm going fact on it.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see them both. How much? I don't know. I'm not expecting a ton, and frankly, there shouldn't be, but I'm fact on it.
Yeah, I'm a half fact just because I think it's just Kingpin. I know Charlie Cox is in it, but I don't know what I worry about them both being in it is taking away the focus on establishing Echo
Sure.
in her first episode.
I
So
think
I could
that's
see
fair.
I could see Matt coming in episode 2, but Kingpin I think would
didn't
be
say
enough.
episode 2. I
Oh.
just said the first trailer.
Oh, the
will
first
show them.
first trailer? Oh.
That's why it's the trailer.
Trailer. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think Matt will be
Okay.
in episode
Okay.
1, for the record.
Okay.
I don't think Matt's until
I
episode 3.
totally misheard that one.
First
yeah,
trailer.
First
will show
trailer.
them.
Yeah, I think that they're
going to advertise those.
they need to. So
I mean, they did it
Yeah,
in
fact.
She-Hulk. I think they're going to do it in this. All right, great. We're both facts on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Next, Yelena will appear in Daredevil. I'm a fact because I think they're going to lean into that Daredevil Black Widow relationship from the comics. Obviously, that was Natasha, not Yelena, but they could maybe lean into a little bit of that. It doesn't have to go full on, romantic, but I could definitely see them having a little flirty time with each other. And if nothing else, it'd be fun to watch the two of them both team up and take each other on.
I mean, I heart really wants it. I'm a fiction on it. I think we've already seen her pop up in Hawkeye, so it wouldn't be unprecedented for her to make an appearance back in New York. The motivation, I'm not sure yet, so I'm a 49% fiction.
All right. I'm 49%, very specific. All right. Last one. It's a little more businessy.
All right.
By the end of 2024, at least one more Disney Plus Marvel show will air on broadcast television like Ms. Marvel did.
Fact. I could see if depending on how long the strike goes on, depending on how far along of edits they need to do for Captain America: Brave New World, they could definitely put back into play Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I'm a fact, and I think that one makes a lot of sense. Definitely put that one out there, get more eyes on it. I just really want to know what happens residual wise. Did the actors, did the cast, the crew, did they? I don't know. I'm asking that question too, but I am a fact. I think we will see more.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I will put those out there as always Sunday afternoon. So let your voices be heard, and let us wrap up. As Brent's giving me the good word, saying that we do have time for comic book club.
I think we can fit it in this week.
I think we can too. So we whatever it takes. All right. So this is the penultimate chapter of Books of Doom. We get basically kind of Doom basically taking over Latveria, or beginning his takeover of Latveria. And I kind of like it in the sense of one could call it kind of cliche, but using him building his forces, not just literally, but also taking those that have been oppressed by the ruler, formerly the Baron of Latveria, and making them be a part of his army.
Yeah, like he makes a point of saying he absolutely could just overpower the
Mm-hmm.
current king, overpower the current ruler, and take charge. But by doing it organically, the people would be behind him more, and it also lets him kind of play with his food, if you will, a little bit.
It's always been interesting, in the sense of, you get Doom telling the story, and then I get these like this documentarian. It looks like
I know. I want to know who they're talking to.
Yeah.
Who's filming this? Like, who's doing this?
And I present this, it's Doom, so it's somewhat an unreliable narrator, but he also puts in stuff where people questioning him, including the return of Valeria, questioning him and just basically saying, yeah, you're no better. I'm not necessarily trusting you.
He is an unreliable narrator, but he has also shown us times, they've told us times when he has been humbled.
Yes.
And so that does give some credibility to his story, I think, because yes, he's telling it from his perspective. So obviously his successes are maybe embellished, but he is still telling us times of his failure.
And I do like the proto Doom bots taking center stage.
Yeah, pretty cool design there. I like them. Not as cool as the actual Doom bots, just because Dr. Doom's a really cool design, but it's fun to see the genesis of those ideas.
Yeah, I do like we get Doom doing the hologram as his army is continuing marching on Latveria, saying, you surrender now or die at my hands, old man, and the anger to throwing it down. Yep. I like his little monk friend saying, you did not expect him to surrender, master. No, and I've been disappointed if he had. After all, the true spectacle will begin tomorrow.
Yes.
So great kind of like quote unquote hero / villain shot to march to victory. To victory, I could almost taste its acid flavor on my tongue already.
Very specific. Very specific.
Very, very specific. And so we will conclude Books of Doom next week. Brent and I will try to remember the homework we have to do and select.
Yeah, we got to pick a new one.
Pick a new one at that point. So hopefully we can remember to do our homework this week. And at that point, we will. So, but yes, so that is our show. Volume 177 in the books. We said it had to be a quick one, but we had a lot to chew on that one. A lot of juicy rumors to talk about.
Yeah, some fun stuff for sure. Definitely.
Yep. But yeah, so Brent, tell people how they can follow you.
Brentech Prime on whatever socials, including Twitter. Not X, Twitter. I'm calling it Twitter. I'll die on the hill. But yeah, Brentech Prime wherever.
As Twitter and X die on the hill.
Is it me or did that X logo on the icon get uglier?
It did. They did an update to make it look like a 90s bad sticker.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful.
It is. It's awful. Just it continues to show it's kind of like that old, I think it was maybe an Edgar Allan poster or something like that. And like the painting reflects the nastiness of you as the character. Well, you're just continuing getting nastier and nastier, Twitter.
So. Can't argue with that.
Yeah. So, in any case, you can follow me on that toxic escape of a social media platform and other more positive spot on Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, be under Chris.Balga, so check it out there. You can follow the podcast right now primarily on Twitter at Marvel 8 Podcast. You can email the show at marvelalliancepodcast@gmail.com. You can follow the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network on Twitter at GUA Network. Feel free to tweet, email if you want to provide feedback, ask questions. Remember to check out DC Alliance's review of Blue Beetle tonight. It should be a good show. Continue to rate and review the Marvel Alliance solo feed, GUA Network feed on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever platform of choice may be. Thank you all for joining us live in the chat. Thank you all for listening. Stay safe out there, everyone. And as Stan the Man would say, Excelsior, true believers. All right, Brent, post-credits discussion tonight. We have a couple more, whether we believe it or not, rumors. And this one is involving casting. So, this was coming from the Diz Insider. Now, Diz Insider has been known occasionally. I'm still putting them under... They're just a little bit above a broken clock scooper. They're not giant freaking robot.
Oh, jeez.
They're definitely not that level, but they're not ones that I necessarily go to in the sense of the reliability.
Right, yeah.
And even some of the ones we do kind of put a little more stock in, like My Time to Shine Hello, Can We Get Dose, Daniel Pre-K, they're definitely above them. So when they started putting this out, it says, where are they getting? Are they just feeling like they're missing out and need to put something out there to get in part of the scoop game? So somewhat humorous to be this. Well, so we'll start off with probably the most believable one, at least in my eyes. So again, spoilers, possible spoilers for Deadpool 3 cameos. If you want to hear those, we'll see you next week. Spoilers start in 3, 2, 1. Channing Tatum is rumored to make an appearance as Gambit in the role that he was attached to star in a solo film, but got stuck in development hell. Can We Get Some Toast has said that this is happening. Gambit will be in Deadpool 3 as a cameo, and Channing Tatum will finally get to portray the Cajun.
It'd be a fun little nod to that what if, what could have been. So I'm into it.
Yeah, it would be though. How about this one? Let's go from believable to I don't know, Dazzler to make an appearance in Deadpool.
Sure,
3.
we've seen Dazzler before. It's not a big shock, right? Right.
We've seen Dazzler, but this is where I start saying, I don't know about that one. Taylor Swift, portraying Dazzler. I'm not anti Tay-Tay, all right? She's an outstanding singer. I'm a little bit more just saying, we all know and have heard on the record, Kevin Feige is a big Dazzler fan. Not sure if Taylor Swift is looking to do this necessarily. I'm not sure.
I think she'd be great in the part. I'll say that.
It would fit. I
don't think it's happening.
Yeah, that one I don't think. Well, if she's not happening, do you think Dazzler is happening?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely on the I don't believe this. That's a fiction for me. Here's a fun one. Loki. Tom Hiddleston is rumored to make an appearance as Loki, but not the Loki we know.
That's fine. I love that idea. I love it.
We do know the TVA is involved.
There's so many of these fun ideas that this movie needs to be Deadpool 3 and 4. But regardless, I love the idea, and getting actual like proper Marvel Studios people involved in it, I think is a great idea.
Yeah. How about this? Brian Cox rumored to reprise his role as William Stryker.
I wouldn't mind seeing Wolverine have another shot at him.
All right. Yeah, it would be interesting. He's kind of like, I could have him. Great. No big deal for me. How about this one? Julian McCann, I can't pronounce his name. Words are tough tonight. McMahon is rumored to take back on the mask of Doctor Doom.
I'm okay with it if the other rumors are true about the FF from that era. I kind of just wish, though, like he's one I would let go. I'm like, let's get a little bit more distance before we bring in Doctor Doom again.
I'm kind of like, I don't want to. I'm fine not seeing a Doctor Doom because I think the MCU really wants to do Doctor Doom, and to have another one just to be wiped out is probably not the best introduction they want to do.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
So, I had talked about in one of my Factor Fictions talking about that there would be Wolverine variants too. Well, this lines up with it, saying Taron Egerton is rumored to make an appearance as a Wolverine variant. Now, he has been very rumored as a possible fan cast for being our new Wolverine in the MCU.
I'm fine with it. I have nothing wrong with that, but I guess if I'm honest, like, I want to see Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in this movie. So I don't know if I'm really, I'm not opposed to it, but I'm not clamoring for other Wolverine specifically as well.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to see Deadpool variants, but
he's going to end up being like Jimmy Hudson or something like that, isn't he?
Yeah, you know what? Fine, bring it on. Just to give that fan that tip of the hat, saying, "All right, we got your fan casting. You got your Jonathan Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. Now you get your Taron Egerton. Go away now."
Maybe he'll get turned into spaghetti.
Now this is one I really, really want. This last one.
All right.
Daphne Keane rumored to appear as X-23.
Now that's a Wolverine character I can get behind. Absolutely. She did a fantastic job in Logan, and X-23 is a great character. Great character. Yeah. And you know what? Wolverine, the other Wolverine is a great character. So yes, no problem here.
Yep. So that was that. So what do you think? If you actually stuck around for this, what do you think? Which one of these rumors, these cameos, is this the quote unquote multiverse of madness amount of cameos that you all were hoping for you're going to get in Deadpool 3? Well, we'll have to see, and we will see you all next week for volume 178. Have a good weekend and see you next week. Bye-bye.